So today, what I'm thinking about is my son. He's at his mom's right now for a couple of days. Um, there's a whole story behind that. I'll get to it eventually. But and the the base, like harsh, like deep resentment that he has for me, and he has every right under God's green earth. If I were him, and I have been, I would never forgive. Never. And what's weird is this is kind of a conundrum because I made a commitment to myself that if I couldn't be in his life from the year he was a year from the time he was a year old until he was 14, that I would be in his life when he was 14, come hell or high water. Because in 2003, I moved away from Memphis, and that's where my son lived with my foster parents, his grandparents, the only grandparents he's ever going to know, and Pop and Miss Nancy. And yeah, I split. I left. And in 2003, I moved to Illinois, chasing a woman. Every single time, chasing a woman. Without fail, without question, it's always chasing a woman. And so I lived in Illinois for 6 years. And once I had burned up every single bridge that I could in that place, even legally, I decided that I needed to get back down to Memphis and see my son and be in his life. And that was when he turned 14. Now, my mother died when I was 14. So you can imagine how I felt. And you see, I come from a long line of absentee fathers. My dad was an absentee father. I'm an absentee father. Now, his father was an absentee father, my dad's father. So, I come from a long line of absentee fathers, is my point. Now, having said that, it's weird how there's this weird kind of telescoping effect. Because my dad didn't meet his dad again until he was 18. And I don't know when his dad left. And I know enough that we had a good enough relationship with him that there were pictures of us hanging out with him in a house that I know my dad lived in. So there's that. I didn't know my dad from the age of 8 until I turned 32. That's 24 years of nothing. No contact, no cards, no letters, no phone calls, no nothing. And I met him again when I was 32. And so anyway, I met my son again when he was 14. So you see this telescoping effect. So you see how, me being back in my son's life when he's 14, and me losing my mother at 14, and the telescoping effect of when we entered each other's lives in the timeline of my paternal family history. And it's like, this kind of shit just blows my mind. And on top of that, this year is the 28th anniversary of my mother's death, which means that I have lived twice as long without her as I ever did with her. She also died when she's 42. Guess who's 42? Two thumbs in this guy. Yeah. So anyway, that's the kind of shit that occupies my mind on a daily basis. And then people wonder, you know, why are you so weird? What the fuck is your problem? Think, people. It's absolutely true what that thing says, that quote, that don't make assumptions about anybody's struggle because you don't know what they're dealing with. Okay? Period. I guess I'll leave it at that for now.